I'm in search of the rare pipe organ cactus, which is only grown in this region of the Southwest. But first I got to go through a number of border checks, and you know that there's a lot of activity in this area, even though we're 100 miles from the Mexican border. So just be aware. Very active, but let's go on to our hunt. Coming to Ajo, beautiful colonial town. In one of my previous videos, I do an extensive walk around of this gorgeous colonial town center. So let's start looking around at the desert before we even get to the rare pipe organ. My first real desert walkthrough. The desert has a certain appeal. I can't describe it, but maybe by the end of this video I can give you a little more detail on why it has such an attraction. I'm going to check the travel center out. They call themselves Why Not. Now, originally it's a confluence of two state routes, and it was just called Y, just Y, the actual letter. But state law demanded they have 3 letters, so they changed it to Y. So there you have it. So let's do some exploring around Y. There's a number of major state parks around here, and the weather, it may be overcast today, but it's still about 23 Celsius. I'm getting closer to the Pipe Organ National Monument. I'm going to make a few stops, check the desert out just prior to going to the national park. You can imagine in the summertime, 110, 120, but also during July you got flash floods, and I talked to a couple locals. They can be held up for hours because of flash floods. And this whole area bordering on the park, before I get into it, can be dangerous if you don't have the right equipment. Plenty of water, making sure your cell phone and emergency equipment are working. So some background. The Pipe Organ National Monument that we're going to be coming into is 330,000 acres, established 1937, and it borders about 30 miles along the Mexican border. And it is such a massive desert area for patrols, for the border patrols, and that at one time, back over 20 years ago, 70% of this area was shut down, you know, due to illegal immigrant and also smugglers coming to the area. But, you know, that's almost all disappeared now. So walking into these parks is extremely safe. But where else in the world do you find the pipe organ? And it's only here because they're very, very sensitive to temperature. Oh, we just passed some harvester ants. Brutal. I got to stay away from those because they can be dangerous. Now, we all know about the iconic saguaro plant. I mean, these can be anywhere from 50 to 200 years old, and they grow massively in the Southwest. But the organ pipe itself can only grow in this particular region that I'm entering into because it's very, very cold sensitive. Very unique plant. Now, the organ pipe can live up to 200 years. It could be 60 to 80 feet in height, and it blooms once a year in July. Fascinating cactus. And again, very, very cold sensitive, a couple degrees, and it doesn't do well. So again, only in this part of the very extreme Southwest does it exist. There are contrasts in the valley because this area also used to be, had a lot of volcanic activity in it. So there's a lot of contrast within this park. Now, thanks for taking this tour with me. We're going to check out one more unique feature about this park. Everybody knows. Let me know what kind of print that is. I just came across it walking in the desert. back at my campsite to take in the night skies. This area is what they call a Bortle Class 2 for sightings. Bortle will be number 1 that you can see clearly with the naked eye. You can see Jupiter, you can see Venus. Unbelievable. So it's a Bortle 2, check it out. But the night skies are phenomenal. I can't remember the last time I was able to look up and actually see part of the Milky Way or planets that were identified for me. Thanks for watching, everybody.